which means you're in for a treat. It gets a little cold. The mountain gets more precipitous than ever. Lamar has hit a peak, Tua a valley, and in the shadow of Mount Rainier, the Kenny Pickett era over. And finally in Kansas City, the mountain's namesake valiantly overcame more drops to defeat Joe Burrow's backup, Barry. Alas, we look onward and upward as we ascend the most daunting quarterback ranking in all of sports. Grab my hand, friend. It's time to climb Mahomes Mountain.
Thank you, Kevin Wildes, for the wonderful intro. Thank you to our friends at Dodge Ram for providing the Ram next to us. And let's get right to the mountain. First, off the mountain. You're going to notice a lot more names off and a lot of guys who have fallen off. You'll see why shortly. We know why those folks are still off. Fallen off the mountain. Bailey Zappi, Easton Stick, potential future Patriot Russell Wilson, and Bryce Young. If they keep Belichick, if draft Marvin Harrison, bring in Russ. There's not a lot of places he could start other than New England. Think about it. All right, to the mountain. As predicted by Chris Broussard, Jake Browning's slide continues. Jacoby Brissett couldn't play, so he stays where he is. Jared Stidham, welcome to the mountain.
Classic
Mason
too.
Rudolph, welcome to the mountain. Tyrod Taylor, welcome to the mountain. All you gentlemen are on the mountain this week. Level 6. All right, guys, it is a tough mountain. Jared, lost in the shuffle of the officiating controversy, Jared Goff played really poorly in that football game. Jalen Hurts, lost in the shuffle of the Eagles' descent. Jalen Hurts has played pretty poorly for a while now. Jordan Love, I'm telling you right now, it's unfair. You didn't deserve to drop. You maybe deserved to move up, but the mountain is slippery and tough, and you had to. Geno, I feel similarly. The Prince, he was out injured. He, of course, stays where he is. And Kyler, little mixed bag, a very Kyler-esque game, some bad decisions, some great plays. He stays where he is. 5th row, Tua drops. Josh Allen drops. Baker drops. These are some of the show favorites, but based on their performance this week and what happened above them on the mountain, they all deserve to drop. Justin Fields, moving up the mountain. I'm not sure, are there mountain ranges in Atlanta where he should be next season? I'm not quite certain. And Brock Purdy, listen, shout out to Fields and Purdy, though, for playing really well this week and trying to prove to their teams they deserve to be brought back next season. Now, to level 4. What? Level 4 of the mountain.
It's just ridiculous.
4 future first-round picks. Taylor, Daniels, May, and shout out Michael Penix. I understand you've been in college since Obama was president. I don't care. You're out here balling, my man. I like it. And listen, I don't know where these guys are going in the draft, but I'm telling you right now, all those guys are going to end up being first-round picks. Now, row 3. Matt Stafford. He had a bit of a mixed bag this week, but he's been awesome for 2 months. C.J. Stroud came back. The Texans got right back to winning. And listen, Joe Flacco, making him stay up late on a Thursday, throws 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, takes a quick nap on the bench, has his team with 11 wins. He skyrockets up the mountain for a dangerous Browns team. And one of the reasons they are dangerous is because they have a quarterback who can throw it 70 yards in the air downfield, almost as far as Brew could in high school. Level 2. Some mountain mainstays, Mahomes and Dak, 2 central characters of this season, stay where they are. They both made one bad mistake, and other than that, had great games throughout in week 17, I guess it was. They stay where they're at. And then, of course, atop the mountain, coach, the man who's going to win MVP, might be unanimous for the second time, the man whose team is the 1 seed and just played a perfect football game. 5 touchdowns, 3 incompletions, 300-plus yards, a 158 rating. That is Mahomes Mountain heading into week 18. Coach? What? God, dog.
I can't take the college players on the mountain, and now we've got multiple college players on the mountain. I mean, that's probably.
But they're about to be NFL players.
But they're not.
In 2024.
None of them will be that good right away.
And then
you
have Patrick Mahomes where he is, and the mountain is a function, not just this week, but it's a function of the whole season. And I know he had 7 scoring drives, 6 more field goals, whatever it was. Like, fantastic. But let's talk about the reality of Patrick Mahomes. So he's had a sub 80 or below quarterback rating this year, 3 out of the last 5 games. 7 times this season. Okay, for perspective, he had that one time last season but let's look at it over the 5 years as a starter.
Wild stat.
He has 7 games this year with a below 80 passer rating, where the other 5 years that he's played, he's had a total of 10. So how he sits where he sits, it's an impossibility. But
Mahomes Mountain.
in the spirit of Kansas City and of rebranding and of marketing, I've created something that I think he can sit on top of. So can we show what?
I don't want to see
And Travis Kelce is going to be my spokesperson.
Guys,
So he is now
take
on
me
top
off
of
camera.
Mahomes Mountain.
I don't want to be a part of
Brought to you by Travis Kelce.
Tell me when it's over. I'm turning
And
my back to this.
Don't make
That
a
is where he
Mahomes
can sit.
out of a molehill.
Okay, guys. All right, Coach. You know, it's not funny.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it a thumbs down.
Thank you, Wildes. I appreciate
Again,
that.
as
Wow,
the leader of the
that's
show,
hurtful.
guys,
That
you
is
gotta run it
hurtful.
by me. That one gets the
Can we
thumbs down.
show the mountain, please? Because since Coach is mocking, Kansas City's second favorite son and Patrick Mahomes, I would like to show you. I'm just curious, Coach. Who would you prefer above Mahomes? Where would you like him to go, and who would you like above him? Is there any?
Why don't we just throw your 4 future first-round draft picks?
No,
above
I
him?
knew you were going to do that.
Or put them
You're
down
trying
the
to
other.
do a
we're
little
in the
sleight of
make-believe,
hand.
and we're in the
It's-
make-believe zone.
No, well, we're in a make-believe zone. You just put
Well,
Patrick
we'll all
Mahomes in a
pretend-
molehill,
well,
so I think you're
which
in the
is
make-believe zone.
Which is where he belongs,
Okay, that's
based
fine.
on his passer rating.
Okay, that's all right. Brew, go
but,
ahead.
Coach, I'm glad you said something about the college kids, because every draft,
Thank you,
there
Brew.
are 5 future superstar quarterbacks in the
Unbelievable.
draft. It's
Generational
ridiculous.
talents.
I'm not,
Yeah, it's
I'm
crazy.
not arguing that, but go ahead.
All right, Purdy.
What?
He's the 15th quarterback named.
No, Brew.
Let me
it is
just
not
name.
left to
I
right.
don't. He's the 15th quarterback listed. All right, that's all I see. All right, now he's gonna make the Pro Bowl.
Okay,
He might be second team All Pro.
maybe.
Because it's gonna be Lamar number 1, and then it's between him and Dak. He might get it. All right. He is the 49ers all-time, and they've had a few good quarterbacks there.
Don't.
He is the all-time leader in single-season passage yardage. He just passed Jeff Garcia, and guess what? He did it, Coach, in nearly 120
Hold
fewer pass attempts.
Wait a moment.
Jeff Garcia got
Who
loved
was
that
their
year.
leader?
Jeff
All-time
Garcia.
leader? So when you
But
say they
Steve
had some
Young-
great quarterbacks, you were talking about Jeff
No,
Garcia?
I was talking about Joe Montana and Steve Young.
Yeah.
Steve Young is 3rd and 4th, also threw for 4,000. Like, they're only 4. Montana never did. But Purdy's done it in far fewer attempts than Young or Jeff Garcia.
Or Jeff Garcia.
All right, so there's that. All right, and despite, Coach, playing behind the 22nd best offensive line in the league. That's bottom 10, according to Pro Football Focus. All right, he leads the league in passer rating, leads the league in yards per attempt, is
believe
top
that
5 in
offensive line
yards.
stat.
Also,
Look,
I hate to make
Drop
this
it
without
knowledge,
Trent
Drew. You just
Williams,
drop
I'm
it
dropping
knowledge.
knowledge. You don't agree when it doesn't agree with you. Dallas has a top 10 offensive line. That Dak sits back there and pats the
I
ball.
also hate to do this to you, and I hate to once again be pedantic, but math, is pretty.
Who should he go ahead?
Well, no, it's not even that. 22nd is not bottom 10 for the record. It would be bottom 11. I know it sounds confusing, but he's not a bottom 10.
Bottom
offensive
11
line.
offensive
That's
line.
first of all.
Some are tied.
Bottom 11
Second of all,
offensive
again,
line.
that's and so I'm curious if we can show the mountain. Aside from the collegiate quarterbacks, which are obviously in their own tier, who would you like
I
him ahead of?
just said he may be this season. He may be second team All Pro.
Okay, well, it's
so the
not no
only
case.
guy
It's
legit
not-
now. Mahomes is obviously better, but the only guy who legitimately should be ahead of him is Lamar.
Okay, it's not the AP ballot. It's Mahomes Mountain, first of all. Second of all,
If he was
I heard you excoriate Wildes when he was talking about Sam Howell's passing yards, and you said, and I quote, "That's not as impressive as
Well,
you think."
because he doesn't
And
have
now
31 touchdowns like Brock
and
to
now
11
all of a sudden you're
interceptions.
like,
he doesn't lead the
passed
league in
Jeff
passer
Garcia.
rating.
He passed Jeff Garcia.
No, I said there's a context.
That's fair.
Sometimes you get yards because you're playing from behind and just
Sometimes you
prevent
can air the thing
defenses.
out, though.
Sometimes you
Sometimes
do it
you're
when you're like one of the top guys
watching
and big
Christian
passes,
McCaffrey
20
weave down
yards
the
or
field.
more,
Go
and
on.
that's what Brock Purdy is.
All right, so I will be 100% honest with you, the viewer. I want the Patriots to draft Caleb Williams. I want the Bears to trade their pick to the Patriots to draft Caleb Williams. Also, Justin Fields should be your quarterback. those things could be, I'm just announcing my bias, but Justin Fields is playing excellently right now. They've won 4 of their last 5. In September, he wasn't great. Since then, he's been pretty good. 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And I know this touches on some of the college quarterbacks. The last time we had a draft with this much talent in it was Justin Fields' draft. And how has it played out? Is Trevor the guy, a generational prospect who can't hold on to the ball? Okay. Justin Fields, you're literally about to trade Justin Fields. Mac Jones is on the bench. Zach Wilson's on the bench. Trey Lance can't even get on the field. So I know it's always nice to say, you know what? Brock Purdy's not in that draft.
He wasn't in that draft?
No, he was in the draft after. I know it's always nice to say, the opportunity of the future. Justin Fields might be the guy. We've had several great Nick, he might be the guy. He might be the guy. If you draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
It's a real debate now.
Gosh darn it. I can't, this is the second straight week you have used Mahomes Mountain as a vehicle to try to sell your own story, which was
I announced it, first of all. 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Yes, okay, first of all, the fact that you are, and I don't want to tear down Justin Fields, but you're advocating for him by saying since the October, November, December combined, he's turned it around because in those 3 months, he has a total of 16 touchdowns. It is not exactly the greatest endorsement,
set up to 16.
but that's not the point. The point is, last week you did a whole thing about Jake Browning, which was actually about Mac Jones, which we validated at the time. You were really doing a Mac Jones
Here's
defense.
the hot take, if you have a great wide receiver, you can thrive.
That's not, again, this week,
hurt.
Wildes, this is where, just like Coach needs to run his bits by you, sometimes you need to run your arguments by me. Right now you are arguing. I desperately want the Patriots to trade Marvin Harrison and other stuff so we can draft Caleb. Chicago, don't draft Caleb. It's a crapshoot. You never know. It makes no sense, buddy. What you're saying is you want to be able to do what you think would be dumb for the Bears to do.
Buddy, have you ever played roulette? I put a lot of takes on the board.
Okay.
Any of them can hit. They don't all need to hit. Like, you got to put it all on 16. I got some on 16. I got some on 35. I put a lot of takes on the board. If any of them hit, I win. Coming up next should Mahomes be playing Week 18? Where am I going to the gym? No, we don't like this. Again.
Why?
I don't like Photoshop humor.
I love you, and I love Mahomes.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.